All right, welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is still the press coming to you live from the Abuja studios of KAFTAN Television. And like we promised earlier, now we've been joined by a guest. His name is Habib Gajo, and he's a public affairs analyst. Together, we shall be taking a look at some of the headlines we read out to you earlier. And this is also a reminder that our phone lines are now open for you to call and make your contributions known. Thank you so much for joining us on the program, Mr. Gajo.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
How are you doing today?
Alhamdulillah.
All right, I think one of the boldest headlines or the most occurring headlines that we have across our national dailies today is the Labour Party crisis. And I'm going to take this one from the Nigerian Tribune. It says Labour Party crisis, mob attack Apapa at PEPC premises. And I don't know if you know the details of all of that story. Let me just walk us through it. It says in court, the two factions had battled for recognition and to be recorded as the authentic representative of the Labour Party. And you know, the authentic representative of the Labour Party is supposed to be the second petitioner, Peter Obi being the first. So with that going on, after all of that ensued inside the court, and Peter Obi keeping mum at the both at all of the banters that was going on inside the court, coming out, the Labour Party acting chairman or the factional acting chairman, Apapa, was attacked by members of the other opposition faction. How do you react to all of this crisis that has been springing up in the Labour Party after the presidential elections?
Yeah, it's normal in political behaviors in Nigeria or in part of Africa, because let me take us back. We have a precedence of this. It happened during Muhammadu Buhari and ANPP. Muhammadu Buhari filed a petition against the INEC and seeking for justice at the Tribunal, while ANPP as a party also joined the petition. So in the course of all these things, ANPP now withdrew from is because of the emanating crisis of factional and factionalization of the party. Some are with Buhari, some are not with Buhari. Is one of the reasons why he even abandoned the party and formed his own political party called CPC. Now, in the case of Labour Party, you know, Labour Party did their own convention and had their own presidential candidate before Peter Obi joined. The other candidate withdrew for Peter Obi, how they settled it, and Abure championed it. You understand? Yeah. So the other faction all along they have been around, but because of the nature and the popularity of Peter Obi, the way he was accepted and the way people are joining the party, you know, the party is getting bigger and bigger, so they now went underground. So until they waited until this time. Had Peter Obi won, because the matter is still on the court, in the court, for who is the authentic chairman in Court of Appeal.
Court of Appeal, yeah.
Yeah, I think they head to Supreme Court before the election. Before the election, I think the judgment came 3 days or 2 days before the election in Appeal Court. So all along, this crisis has been there. And in a political party, the party politics, it needs people who are being groomed, people who are who knows the internal mechanism of the party, the behavior of its members. You understand? So Labour Party is always on this crisis right from inception.
Yeah.
Even when they formed the party, Adam Oshomole joined. He now saw all these things. He moved out of the party and went and joined ACN. So it's not a new story when it comes to political issues in Nigeria.
Also, Peter Obi has come under fire for keeping mute in all of this situation. Do you think he actually has enough grounds to speak on, taking into consideration that he just joined the party less than a year ago?
It is not his party. You understand?
Yes.
He is a member. You understand? And the executive of the parties are supreme.
But whether you like it or not, this would actually affect him one way or the other.
Definitely it will affect him.
So do you think keeping mute about it is the way forward?
No, it's taking it down.
Okay.
You understand? Had it been he reacted or intervened, it will escalate.
Okay.
The crisis will escalate automatically. Even those who are not in the matter will join. But when he keep calm, as a leader, you must have a courage and decorum to observe things. You understand? So all the parties has experienced all this factionalization crisis, but this one with Apapa, I think he has gone far.
Why would you say so?
Because you can't go to Tribunal and say your party should not be your own party and leaders of your own party, your colleagues, not to be recognized, and you be recognized. Definitely there is a foul play. There is allegation of
500 million naira you collected.
Yes, all this will, even if there is no such thing did not happen, but people will allege, because the way Lamidi Apapa was behaving immediately after the election, definitely something is wrong somewhere. What he did, honestly, he played a bad politics. I don't think he's a professional politician or a seasonal politician. I think he's one of those civil servants that jumped into politics from nowhere and think that people that are sitting around thought that politics is a way to go or is something that you can accumulate power for yourself.
All right. Let's not, sorry to cut you short, please. Let's not forget the fact that you're a politician yourself.
Yes.
So all of this that has been going on, like you also made mention of the factionality in parties, which is constant. How would this have been handled properly, especially taking into consideration what's going on now in Labour Party? How do you think it would have been the best way for it to have been handled?
Yeah, the best way to handle the issue or the matter is for the party to call a NEC meeting. You understand?
Yeah.
And said, okay, now the issue of factionalization, we should keep it aside. We have a case in a court, in a election presidential tribunal, that we need to defend our party, our vote, and our political and our candidate. You understand?
Yeah.
Anything outside that we can discuss, we can discuss, we can disagree and agree. But when we go to tribunal, this is our aims and objective is to defend our vote and our presidential candidate, that we won the election. Okay. But unfortunately, they were now telling tribunal that we are not even a party. So how can we defend our presidential candidate?
All right.
Okay, now I like us still on the Labour Party, and then of course yesterday they were in court. Apart from being in court, they were able to represent themselves, and then there was lots of back and forth with representation. And the Labour Party, INEC has come out to say Labour Party should pay a sum of 1.5 million naira to be able to get certification, and that's the EC9 form for them to actually present to the court. And there's been lots of questions. Is this supposed to be so? I'd like to get your own take on this particular issue.
No, honestly, you know, there is a rules, there is a guidelines on how you assess those materials. And the way to assess it is to obtain a court order. Court will now give you an order to present to INEC that that you have been certified to assess those materials and inspect them. You understand?
Yeah.
So that when you are presenting this as an evidence, you understand? From where did you get it from INEC? You understand? I applied through court and INEC gave me access. Or if INEC denied you access, then INEC contravened the court order. But for the Labour Party, for them to go and say we are factional, don't believe this, don't believe that, definitely you have the penalties will be imposed on you. You understand?
Yeah.
To authenticate who are you to inspect those materials. And I think those who will pay will be authenticated as the one that will inspect those materials.
So you don't think INEC is trying to frustrate the effort?
It's not a frustration.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Away from that, let's take a look at other headlines coming from our national dailies. I don't know, because we've talked about this so much, and it's been a question of, we've talked about insecurity for more than 20 years in Nigeria, non-stop. And I don't know if at any point we would say, okay, it has gotten better, or if there are signs that we would see and say, okay, the issues of insecurity are gradually coming to an end. And I'm saying this in regards to the killings in Plateau State. The death toll has hit 85 and 57 victims get mass burial. So with this headline, I still feel like this is not getting enough attention it should get in the political space. Because I think we're just the ones talking about it. If 85 people die in foreign countries, I know how big it will be all over the world. But here we have 85 people dead in Plateau State. Nobody is talking about it. Is it that we've gotten so used to the issues of insecurity and killings that it has become nothing? 85 people die, we bury them and move on.
Yeah. My own take is our political leaders are heartless. They lack human
Empathy.
sympathy or empathy in this country. They don't care about anybody. They just care about their own children and their own immediate families. Because this thing keep happening. You understand?
Yeah.
In every state, in less than a month or to 3 months, let me widen the gap. From in every state, in every 3 months, you must have a mass burial. It happened in Benue last week, and it happened in Plateau this week. It happened in Kaduna the previous last month. It happened in Zamfara. Zamfara on immediately after the election. You know, so how many people have been killed every day and nobody is saying anything, nobody is talking. Even the president, even the government will just issue a careless statement, because I call it a careless statement, because you can't be condemning without action. You understand?
Yes.
So, and the security agencies is like they are handicapped or they have been manipulated by the political class, or I don't know what happened to the operationals of the security agencies. They must have some informations, you understand, and intelligence that so group of people are attempting to attack, you understand, or are moving from so direction to so direction, and if they reach some certain direction, definitely crisis will erupt, you understand. But there is no intelligence, no operational policing until when it occurs. You have casualties, and now you allow press to blow it out for people, and the highest thing the commander-in-chief will say, we condemn. So how many people will condemn? In United States of America, shooting in a school, the president of the United States of America will go and see it, and he will take action, and police will be there to protect people. You will see police rescuing people out of the school before they apprehend the shooter. But in Nigeria, who do they arrest? Who do they prosecute? Nobody. Nobody was arrested, nobody was prosecuted. We have not seen, for the last 8 years, nobody. And I dare anybody to tell me that these are a group of terrorists or a leader of a terrorist group that were arrested and prosecuted and jailed in a... No.
Well, for this Plateau State, police came out to say for the recent killings, they've arrested 5 suspects. Well, but you know, it's still what they told us over what we can see at the end of the day. Yeah,
police will defend themselves in such manner that, you know, during President Jonathan, his own security chiefs, they will always tell us that the terrorists have attacked, but we repel them. You understand? They are always repelling them. So it's just like this one, that they have made arrest. They are investigating. They are investigating. What are they investigating for 8 years? And because we don't punish people, that is why this thing is happening. But if a group of people or an individual went and killed people or take life, take him to court, arrest him, take him to court, execute him publicly, tomorrow somebody will not dare do it.
Well, that's a very good statement you just made there, because now I was going to talk about the issue of granting of amnesty to all of these bandit kidnappers, herdsmen that were in prison, and then they got rehabilitation and all of that. They were empowered and led back into the society. And I'm wondering, before all of the rehabilitation and all of that, there was no information gathering. They didn't offer anything in return for their freedom, because I want to believe that they should have offered something as little as information. And if all of them, the multitude of them, because I know that the last time there were about 300 and something of them, if the 300 and something of them offered at least little information, we would have gotten somewhere. So I'm now wondering, what was the aim of that amnesty? What did they give in return for their safety?
Anybody that gave a criminal amnesty or a terrorist amnesty, I think he's aiding and abetting the terrorism, criminality. And if the government is part of this, then definitely that government is irresponsible. It's an irresponsible government that will give amnesty to
people who have killed.
People who have killed. It's only court of competent jurisdiction that will clear a criminal or somebody who took life. It's only court. You can't determine or you can't decide on a crime terrorism that is being perpetrated by some element, and you said you pardon them, you give them amnesty, you do that, you do. No, that's not amnesty. That's a criminality, and that's injustice.
Like I asked
the families of those who lost their people, or the community that lost their life and property. How will they feel to see the man who took their life back in the society? And how are you sure these people are not going back
to criminality?
To criminality, because you will arrest an armed robber or a thief and take him to court and jail him, and he will come out from jail and go back to his robbery and talk less of terrorists who are so inhuman, who are so wild to take life like a fly or a chicken.
All right, let's quickly take this call before you continue. Good morning. Thank you for calling the press.
Yeah, beautiful morning to you, Sandra, and the Messi, Honorable Habib. Beautiful morning to you. On to SND from Lagos.
Good morning. How are you doing today?
Yeah, thank you very much. Let me quickly respond to the issue of the insecurity in Plateau State.
Okay.
I don't want to generalize the issue. Let me particularly look at the issue of Plateau State. You see, in those days, Plateau State used to be a happy home. Even in their listing, you see home of peace and tourism. I'm a product of Plateau State because I did my primary school in Plateau State, starting from Islamia Primary School. When I was in primary 3, I now relocated to RCM Primary School, which means to show you Roman Catholic Mission Primary School. So I'm a product of those two schools. That Islamia Primary School, we are together with his Udensi, Palm, Rachel, Israel, Monday, and so on and so forth, without any differences. You understand my point?
Yes.
Same as when we went to Roman Catholic Mission Primary School, Ismaila is there, you understand me, Mohammed is there, you understand me, Palm, Aziz, and so on and so forth. But today is not what we are witnessing. What we are witnessing is entirely different. The question I ask myself is, in those days, the technology is not there. The knowledge is not as what we have today.
Okay.
But people there stay in peace and love one another. Monday can go to Ismaila house and collect food to eat. Ismaila can go to Aziz's house and collect food to eat. So, where is the conscience? What is going on? I could remember when I read history in those days, our forefathers, when it comes to nation building, they kept their differences aside, their religious differences aside, tribal differences aside, political affiliation. What they do is they face the nation. Today we lack that system in our life of nowadays. What is going on with our politicians? That's the question I always ask, because this issue of Plateau State is economical and politics, whether we like it or not. And at the end of the day, tribal joins everything together. So for how long shall we remain in this present predicament? That's the question. And number 2 now is the issue of this resident doctor strike. What is wrong with our Ministry of Labor? On the 29th of April or 30th of April 2022, there is a 2 weeks ultimatum by the resident doctors that they will go on strike. Why is it that the government or the Ministry of Labor did not call them to dialogue with them before they take up this 5 days work strike? Why is it so? Now remember, the Minister of Labor is a doctor by profession. A doctor. So for how long we are having issues of how are we going to do away with this issue? That's the question. Must we go on strike before any action?
All right.
All right. Okay.
I wish you from Lagos.
Thank you very much for joining us
Sandy.
on the program. So, like he made mention when he was talking about the issues of insecurity, that what is our government doing? But like they say when insecurity in a country lasts for more than 48 hours, the government is involved.
in the know, yeah.
So we've had these issues of insecurity for the longest time, and it's not getting better. So I want to ask, do you even envisage a situation where it gets better, and at what point? Because taking into consideration the polity and what we have here in Nigeria in the name of politics, so do you think that we see a situation of it getting better in soonest times?
Now, before I go to you, let me, he put up a question.
Yeah.
What is the role of our politicians? What are they doing? You see, all these things, they are politically motivated. Whether we like it or not, we must say it the way it is. It's politically motivated. If a politician is campaigning, you can see the division in his campaign from one community to another community. You understand? Even the way they will bring out the candidate and support the candidate, and you will notice that immediately after election, things will happen.
Yes.
You understand? And now we have our own national leaders who are unpatriotic. Chatham House, organizing conferences, lectures, and lecturing the Oimbos, the white people who supply those arms, who sell those arms, who fund and so on, as alleged. You understand? You now start telling them your plan for your own national security. So what are you protecting? You have exposed yourself. But we have a NIPS in Plateau State, Kuru. It's a strategic institute. Police has their own institute. We have War College. We have so many security institute where you can go and interact with those people. You have 7 commissioners, AIGs, DIGs, Inspector General Police, retired, and the retired and the serving ones. You understand? You engage them. You talk to them. They will give you a very good analysis, and they will put you on a very good strategy when you win election, and you execute it. People will stay in peace. Communal crisis started during the military. In northern Nigeria, the first one is Kaduna and Zangon Katap and Jama Kapancha, where people were massacred. And unfortunately, serving military officers and retired military officers are involved. They were all arrested, both the Muslim and the Christians. Both the native of that communities and the so-called settlers in that community. They were all arrested and they were brought before Justice Oputa when he was in appeal court. He sentenced them to death by hanging. And that Judge Oputa said if they were not executed, he would retire from the judiciary as a judge. And when Babangida gave them amnesty, removed the death sentence to life sentence, Justice Oputa resigned. When Abacha came, Abacha now reduced it to 15 years. And today all of them are free.
Yeah.
So tell me, We have seen in Niger Delta where people are being killed, massacred, and so on. Police officers, military, you understand, so many people are being killed. Asaru Dokubo was arrested. Some of them were arrested at that time during Obasanjo.
Granted amnesty.
At the end of the day, they were released. And they were granted amnesty. Has that youth restiveness in that Niger Delta reduced? It has not. So why will we continue? Why will our politicians, like the last caller said, what are they doing? They're not doing anything. They just want to enter government house and start enjoying themselves, accumulating wealth, traveling all over the world with their families, enjoying themselves, living Nigeria, killing ourselves because of small thing and something that has not even, does not even matter to the society or to the community, and killing will start. You understand? So they divided us so that we cannot come together and confront them or challenge them. Look at what is happening in the National Assembly. A clear division from all over. Look at the political parties. A clear division. APC is suspending its members who they allege are done at anti-party. PDP is doing that. Though PDP has retracted and said let's forgive and continue, and Labour Party the same thing. So these are the parties that brought people that will go and represent us in the National Assembly and the executive governors and the president. Look at our president-elect. Nobody is hearing about him. Nobody is talking about him. Nobody is. Just recently that we had when he went to River State, and from River State he left to Paris, and from while in Paris, and we had Anthony Blinken.
Congratulations.
No, not congratulating him. He said, called him and said they are going to collaborate.
I like the fact that you mentioned that now, because I was going to say let's quickly take a detour and then mention
yes,
about PDP Labour Party kick as U.S. Secretary of State calls Tinubu. Now it feels like U.S. Secretary of State is concerned about the administration. Meanwhile, there's still another one for the Punch this morning. U.S. demands justice for slain consulate officials. So even as we're talking about the administration, we're still talking about insecurity, because a few days back, most of the consulates were killed in Anambra.
Yes.
So what is your take? Like, should there be more focus on these things? Because now you've made mention of them more interested in what we want to do, even given the fact that we are actually the ones giving them such power. I mean, going to Chatham House to actually deliver speeches, it means a lot. So what's your own general overview about this?
It doesn't mean a lot to those foreign countries.
Okay.
You understand? It's from us here that we praise them, that he spoke well, he said well, but we all know is a written speeches by some consultant who did that with certain presidential candidate that went to Chatham House. He said he will share the question to those who escorted him. So there is no plan, there is no strategy on what you are going to do, on what they don't know what they are coming to do when they are elected. Now, U.S. consulate staff, or as they said, U.S.
Consulate
officials were killed in Anambra State. You know, America is a country that values life, like I said.
But you know, the situation here is that the consulate, they are not
the
US
consulates
citizens.
yes.
No, those who died are not American citizens, because we all know that if they were American citizens, don't be surprised by now we'll have American soldiers in Nigeria.
Let me tell you, an embassy or consulate of any country in another country represent that country, because they host their own flag. They are representing United States of America. And let me tell you, America value life. Whether it is their citizens or their staffs or their what, they don't. And let me tell the whole world clearly that Anthony Blinken, the Secretary of State, called to Tinubu is not a congratulatory call, and Tinubu should prepare. The worst is about to come, because America is everywhere.
Okay.
Don't forget, they are here in Gulf of Guinea in their submarine. They have their own naval seal. You know naval seal?
Yeah.
When they say naval seal, that's the highest command in American operational military. They are the one that went and killed Osama bin Laden in his hiding in Pakistan. So they are everywhere. So Nigeria should prepare. Nigeria should start working with the foreign affairs and diplomatic issues.
Okay.
Is not going to be business as usual as they think.
So if you're saying Nigeria should prepare, what is Nigeria preparing for to start with?
To prepare how to curtail and how to stop this act of crime and terrorism.
Okay.
Because America will not condone killing one official. Let me remind Nigerian officials, one of the reasons why Hillary Clinton lost election is because American embassy was was set on fire in Benghazi, Libya, and that's where her trouble started. Lack of communication. They went through her emails, her conversation, everything, and they got what they want. They investigated this matter for like years to get the fact that there is a negligence, there is a miscommunication that led to the death of Ambassador Christopher, I forgot the last name, American ambassador to Libya.
All right.
And when this starts from the consulate, it will escalate to other. That is why Blinken quickly put that call. It's a warning call. And I'm sure it's a warning call, but for APC and the president-elect to tell us that
they want to keep away from the media.
Yes, but there is more to it. Next time, when this one has already happened, but I know it's not going to be an easy ride for Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Okay.
He has
A lot of job to
do. And I think the way we are seeing cabals are nominating, zoning and nominating, choosing their own National Assembly officials, that the Constitution guarantee that it's only members that will elect. Only members, and you can't produce a leadership of the National Assembly by a mere nomination and selection.
The party
is by voting. And I think Tinubu did not learn from the past. It happened in 1999 when Obasanjo came. He brought Salisu Buhari against the will of the party. They removed Buhari because of Toronto certificate and brought Galina Abba, and the way they handled Galina Abba, remove him, they brought Masari, the way they, you understand? Yeah. The way they brought Patricia Ete and remove her, the way they defied their parties and voted for Tambuwal that Femi Bajamila was saying that he regretted. You understand? Yeah. They defied their parties.
All right.
To vote for, and if you check, if you go back to the president of the Senate, the leadership of the Senate, they wanted Chuba Okadibo, they put Enwarem from Enwarem, they removed Enwarem, they put Chuba Okadibo, from Chuba Okadibo to Wabara to Pius Ayim, from Pius Ayim to, you understand?
Yeah. All right, thank you so much. With that, we have to draw the curtain here. We've taken our time and we run out of time. Thank you so much for coming on the program.
Thank you so much very much.
All right, we'll see you tomorrow. I am Sandra Agu. Thank you so much for watching the press today.
All right, thank you for calling. And we're sorry we could not take your call this morning. We do hope we'll take it tomorrow. Thank you for joining us. I remain Mercy Babajide. Bye.